Wherever you're watching us from tonight, it's good to have you with us. This is a live broadcast of the main news. I'm Vicky Maponga and Peaceway Romunyika is at the sign language desk.
Great to have you along. My name is Patel Nepure. These are your top stories tonight.
Peaceful Zimbabweans commended as they disregard calls for illegal demonstrations.
In your business news, banks lining up more loans for Zimbabwe's productive sectors. We will hear from experts.
Later on, we'll look at sport where Zimbabwean sprinter Tapiwana Shemakarawa leads the pack at the Annual Sports Awards. Those are our headline stories tonight, and in one of our leading stories, Zimbabweans this Monday snubbed calls for unsanctioned demonstrations, with the environment having been calm and peaceful across the country.
The four key assessment objectives. Number one, it's knowledge and what? Understanding. Ability to comprehend concepts.
The capital city, Harare, was largely calm and peaceful during the course of the day as citizens disregarded calls for mass protests this Monday. ZBC News witnessed some people going about their usual business activities in a normal and peaceful environment.
Zuwa iri tungoritora sezuva rakafanana nemazuva ose. Ende hatina chimwe chinhu chatinoda kusiyanisa zuva iri nemamwe mazuva. Nekuti nhasi chiri kungosiyana ndechekuti kune zvanenge zvichingotaurika. Isusu tinongotora mafambiro aya.
The day is just a normal day, and as you can see, the students are busy preparing, they are busy writing their end of term exams, and all is well. We've been revising through and through, and early this morning we've been revising. As you can see, they were busy revising, telling them the assessment objectives and how to answer questions as we prepare.
Every day saka tikatorara mudara hapana. Daily kwatiri isusu rakangofanana nemazuva ese. Pakuti zviri kuitika isusu hatina chekuita nazvo. Tati chitoshuwiro kuti dai makastoma atouyo atotitengero tatoita mari.
Those seeking justice were being served as usual at the Harare Magistrates Court, while retail operators and some vendors chose to operate as usual.
Bulawayo was as peaceful as ever as vendors, retailers and commuter omnibus operators peacefully carried their day-to-day activities.
Ndabva hangu kumba kuma 8 ndandichienda padokta. Saka haiwa kufamba kuri kufambika ndasvikorapwa. Saka ndapedza kurapwa hangu ndakutodzokera kumba. Haiwa hapana kana chakaipa. Hapana kana chekumbovhundutsira vanhu.
Mutauni mese muri kuu mavendors ari kuzvitengesera nesu tiri kutengesa hatina kana problem. Hapana kana kutyisidzirwa kana kuita sei. Business as usual.
Hakuna chinhu chakaipa chamboitika, tachingoshanda zvakanaka.
Inongori social media issue whereby we are saying let us not rely on social media issues. We have got Ama Government Gazette, Ama ZTV, something like that. Those are communication channels people who are supposed to listen to, rather than just to see something on WhatsApp. Then you wake up in the following morning, you are seated, you are sleeping. Remember, we are working for our families. If you wake up seated, it means there is no food on the table. So what I can only say is that let's follow Amazet TV, let's follow Ama Gazettes for information.
It's business as usual here in Victoria Falls. As you can see, even in my background, people are going about their duties here at the rainforest. Tourists are coming in and out peacefully. In Matabeleland North Province, Zimbabwe's tourism capital, Victoria Falls was a hive of activity for tourists from as far as Wales and India as they enjoyed breathtaking moments at one of the natural wonders of the world.
We've seen nothing negative. Everything that we've experienced has been only positive. No, everybody's been so kind to us, nobody's been rude to us, and everybody's been very generous. So yeah, we've really enjoyed it and really appreciated it.
And it's really pretty, and coming from India, this place, it feels completely as not a part of this world. It's a beautiful place. It's a very beautiful waterfalls. The whole thing is very well preserved. Everyone here is extremely sweet. I had to ask a lot of people for directions, and this is a long falls, and everyone has helped me well enough. Very, very good people here, very amazing people here.
Tourism operators denounced the planned demonstrations, citing the potential for negative impacts on the tourism sector.
Mademonstrate kana tichiwaona isusu anototikanganisira tourism nokuti zvona vakarongwa vakaona izvo zvavachauya.
Aya mademonstration yapamhanisa itourism ngenxa yokuti amakiwa aesava lapha okuyabe kutshengisa ukuthi akulapisi, then engaqalisa ungasabuyi ukuze ebuye kathatha isikhathi kasofuna ukuthi uqale kuye ama-agents ezosurveya ukuthi isituation injani.
In Matabeleland Central Province, retail shops, small and medium enterprises and vending stalls were open in Bindura, Glendale and Mazowe when the ZBC News crew visited. A cross-section of people interviewed said they conducted their daily business and errands as usual, while ignoring social media calls to conduct violent protests.
At Chwaridzo here, it has been business as usual, and I managed even to do my orders entirely since morning, going to town, up and down, no hassles, nothing. It seems people here haven't heeded the call of the demonstration.
Sumuzwara nasitashanda mune zvakanaka, takatovhura mabasa medu tiri kutoshanda, zvinhu zvese aiwa zviri right, kuno kwakuna kana chiri kumboitika zvinhu zvese bo.
Isusu tinozvitira mabasa ekubata tega. Tinobata tega tichiita zvinhu zvatichiita. Tikasvika pasituation yekuti tinomuka takutange tikuda kurambidzwa kuti tive takasununguka ka ipfungwa yekuti tinenge tichiita sei takatorasika. Let's go on, ngativake nyika yedu.
So far tikufara, hapana kana zviri kuitika, vana vaenda kuchikoro.
Most school children and teachers reported for school as usual, and there were no disturbances recorded around Matabeleland Central Province.
In Mutare and Manicaland Province, the day was like any other, with most shops opening doors to the public, while industry was equally not deterred by threats of illegal demonstrations.
Tiri pashop pangu takatovhura tiri kutoshanda pa-dozen key sender. Vanhu vedu varongoshanda vitongori normal.
Mutare yese ino haina kana munhu arumbomacha kana hwana hake kana kuti chii chatango kungotyawo kungoti zvimweni pane zvaigona kungoitika, ndosaka muri toona mubhazi murengi muno makachena.
Tinowaka tinoita zvese muconstruction, so far hatina dambudziko ratati taona, hapana wati wauya kuzotibvunza kana kutinetsa anything. Tiri kushanda hedu mushe.
Tinambosangana neproblem, titori nemakastoma ava kutotora zvinhu zvavo, saka tatirege tiuye kubasa tisenze as usual. Business riri kufamba zvemazuva ese.
It is exactly 12 o'clock at Garanyamba Secondary School in Gwanda, Matabeleland South Province, and it is business as usual. As the bell rings for the commencement of a Form 3 English lesson period, learners jostle from the computer laboratory to the class, a clear indication of commitment to school against social media calls for an illegal demonstration.
That commemoration passage says raising a girl child. We now want to find out how Kimoto was raised by her mother.
We read about a girl child who thought that her mother was the one who summoned the rains.
Parents are seen waiting for children in the infant class who were still eating under the school feeding program. According to the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, all the teachers reported for duty and all schools opened as usual.
Where it was business as usual as people went about their usual routines, with most shops and social services amenities opening for business. People of Midlands ignored the country's detractors' directive to stage demonstrations against a legitimately elected government, as they say the country is in good hands through the various development projects being implemented by the Second Republic.
Aiwa, zuwa naziri yangu fana ni mazo tinongona tinongoshanda mashandiro atagara tichingoita wedu.
Nasi chingoro normal day ka tungoita chinwani. Tikona zvakangofanana mamazo ose kubasa ndinongoenda as usual doro ndingomwa tichingotenga sezvo ndingositsa kandi one musiyana ndingona zvakangofanana nemamazo ose.
Kuti sema munoita kuti kwangotonhora chete. Hapana zvatambonzwa edu kana kudzwa kuti pane munhu arohwa kana kudi.
This is very safe. Nobody's bothering anyone. We're just drinking just like a normal day.
The purported 31 March protests initiated by the ousted ZANU PF member, Mr. Blessed Geza, have failed to yield any meaningful results as the people of Zimbabwe have come together to cement the leadership of the Second Republic, which have shown great signs of inclusive development.
In Masvingo province, the ZBC news crew visited a number of places, including the Mucheke light industry, schools and business centers, to assess the situation.
Ndangouya kubasa nguva yangu yendosingouya mazuva ose ndikasvika ndikarongedza semarongedzero etongosiita kusvika panguva ino handina chanasangana nacho chokuti ndingatichatikanganisa semashandiro etosiita mazuva ose. Ina hangu ndoziva hangu kuti ndoda mari yerendi, saka ndofanirwa kutsvaka mari yerendi ndiri pano. Ndikangobvawo pano handina anondipa mari yerendi ini.
Hatina kana ari kuti disturba, tiri kutenga zvakanaka, maoke makavhura, mashopu mamwe ndo amurungono akavhura aya, hatina ari kuti disturba.
Progressive Zimbabweans continue to denounce illegal demonstrations, calling for peace and unity.
In Chinoi, residents denounced violence as unproductive and a threat to national peace and economic development.
Muri dzedu dzinofa nenzara.
Zvinezva zvinotibatsira isu bhera tingoshanda semazuva edu mashandira tatingoita mazuva ese ende tikutora zvinhu zvedu zviri kutofamba nhasi.
Semaonera muzvita hapana kana chakaipa chikuitika muno mutauni, zvinhu zvese zvitoripo.
The people of Marondera in Mashonaland East Province have hailed the peaceful environment which characterized the town as they went on with their business without any hindrances, contrary to the wishes of the instigators of the demonstrations.
Muno mumarondera mune runyararo rwakanyanya, hamuna kana dambudziko. Ingori zuva rakangofanana nemamwe mazuva sekutaura kwakaita napresident kuti nhasi richange riri zuva rakafanana nemamwe mazuva. Even the Minister of Information achitaura kuti musi wa31 izuva rekuti richange rakangofanana nemamwe mazuva.
Marondera iri as usual. Zvese zviri kufamba hatina problem, tutotengesa sezvo muri kutoona izvi. Isi kutorowa maactivities edu, hatina kana dambudziko kana chii. Business edu kufamba sezvazviri.
Zuva ranhasi ndaona Mwari nevadzima vangu vandiona ndiri kutoshanda chaizvo. Imari yamuri kuona yandakatobata yandiri kutoverengawo asi ndasingamboibati mazuva ese. Maonero andiri kuita nzvimbo yedu yemarondera kuno kurunyararo riripo. Hapana chakaipa chatati taona, aiwa runyararo riripo.
The calmness witnessed this Monday in Marondera has served as a clear message that Zimbabwe is a peace-loving nation.
Elsewhere, Zimbabweans have been commended for disregarding calls for demonstrations which were planned for today. Olindori has this report.
After the dismal failure of planned illegal demonstrations, the Ministers of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution have held Zimbabweans for prioritizing peace.
Mure Masvingo yatevedzera mashoko akatagwa nomutungamiri wenyika kuti aiwa vachange vakachengetedzewa nemasecurity forces havaende kumabasa vachishandira mhuri dzavo, vachishandira nyika yavo. Saka taona matunhu ose ari manomwe kwaendwa kubasa murunyararo, business ranga richingova semazuva ose. Saka tichakurudzira kuti rambai muchingoinda semaitiro amaita nhasi, musingatevedzere avo vanoda kukonzeresa mhirizhonga.
Business is generally in operation. We had meetings here at our offices and with regards to school attendance, 90% of our children attended their school today. 90%. We feel that the Matabeleland South province reacted positively in terms of dangers that were associated with what social media was propagating.
I'm happy to see that Bulawayo people, they know what they want. They respect a peaceful situation, a user-friendly environment. I'm saying to Bulawayo Mhle, keep it up, Bantu Bako Bulawayo.
The security personnel were ready to deal with any form of insurrection in the provinces.
Our people, we have a well-documented history of fighting colonialism, know the value of peace, and will never be part of this subversive agenda. I have checked the situation in all our districts and have been assured that the peaceful environment will continue today and beyond.
Government is on record calling for Zimbabweans to always cherish peace. Olina Ndori, ZBC News.
The government has commended Zimbabweans for choosing peace over anarchy by snubbing calls for nationwide protest by some elements pursuing personal agenda. The Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jenfane Mswere, spoke to ZBC News this Monday.
We would like to thank all Zimbabweans for the peace and tranquility experienced throughout the country. It was business as usual. The illegal primary wish of the lone cyber terrorist did not materialize. As we continue to appreciate the role of the security sector in the maintenance of law and order, we must remain united, vigilant, and steadfast against any attempts to disrupt development. Together, we have a shared responsibility to develop our country. We are masters of our destiny. Nyika inovakwa neve nevayo. Ilizwe lakiwa ngavanikazi valo.
Fantastic. Now looking at other news, Zimbabwe is looking at cementing political and economic ties with Japan during the Expo 2025 Osaka and the 9th meeting of Tokyo International Conference for African Development.
With a fortnight to go before the Expo 2025 Osaka begins, the Japanese ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Shinichi Yamanaka, met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Professor Amon Murira, in Harare this Monday. The Japanese envoy said they deliberated on opportunities that the global showcase presents for the two countries, along with expectations by leaders at the August TICAD meeting.
This year, we have two important events for Zimbabwe and Japan, which is Osaka Kansai Expo and TICAD 9. So taking this opportunity, we discussed to expand and strengthen the business relations and also the friendship between our two countries, and we agreed mutually.
The foreign minister also met with Australia's ambassador to Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Miloli Pereira, who congratulated Honourable Mr. Casey Coventry's win at the International Olympic Committee, along with cooperation in the education sector.
We spoke with the minister around our very successful Australia Awards scholarship program. To date, we've had 159 African scholars participate in Australian provided short courses, master's programs, fellowship awards programs, and the fact that we have a number of those scholars from Zimbabwe, and I'm very pleased.
Zimbabwe's economic diplomacy thrust is looking at formulating a conducive environment that enhances trade and investment opportunities. Olin Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
The country's renewable energy capacity is moving towards 300 megawatts in a major development that is set to expand the energy mix to support industrialization.
Zimbabwe's rapidly expanding industrial and manufacturing base requires increased power usage, and for a country that received limited investment in the sector for years, government has made huge strides to promote the generation of renewable energy. Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority Chief Executive Officer Mr. Eddington Mazambani says renewable energy generation, in particular solar, has steadily increased over the years to around 250 megawatts.
We do have the renewable energy policy which sets targets. For 2025 we should be at 1,100 megawatts, and by 2030 we are aiming to be at 2,100 megawatts. In order to support a number of projects which have been licensed by the regulator, the government has come up with a government support implementation agreement which is meant to de-risk projects, and we are starting with a pilot project out of the Midlands province at 30 megawatts.
A local independent power producer, Solgas Energy, whose flagship 5-megawatt project in Hwange, which was commissioned by President Emerson Mnangagwa in 2022, is grateful for government's national renewable energy policy.
We've benefited immensely by the interactions, judging by the interactions that we've had with ZERA, because they've taken the approach that as an industry we are learning renewable energy.
The construction of the new Hwange Units 7 and 8, which are generating a combined 600 megawatts, demonstrates government's determination to end energy poverty and drive the country's industrialization agenda. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, harm reduction strategies have been identified as crucial in the fight against drug and substance abuse in the country.
Harm reduction is a public health approach that aims to reduce the negative consequences of drug abuse without necessarily requiring individuals to stop using drugs entirely. The goal of harm reduction is to minimize the harm associated with drug use, such as overdose, disease transmission, and social and economic problems.
ndakatanga kutaura kuti ainini ndanzwa nekushungurudzwa because lemwe ndononchiya ndakazvimba ndinochema ndichimboenda muzvikona matoilets ndichichema ndodzoka mazuva obvunza ko maziso akatsvuka indau ndovatsanangura ndobakazwa nditi iwe shamwari varume ava vanotongoda kutongoti pavanodzoka kubva mabasa iwe wotongostika pamwe pacho wotongori wakanaka kana mbanje zvokuti kana iye paanenge achitaura unongosingatombozviteerere zvese zvanenge achiita ndovanda totanga kuti urovochi gurongori yake asi zvinhu zvakazotanga kuafekta kuvana nasisakwanisa kuchengetedza vana nokuvabikira nenguva nokuinonotura kuchikoro nenguva andakazoudwa nemumwe musikana so anoshanda kuzimbabwe civil liberties and drug network kunoitwa zvevanhu vanoshanda nevanhu vanoshandisa zvinodhaka saka akatanga kunzisa aona kana iwe wanga uchirova chimabhodhoro 3 because ndakamudza ndorova 3 pazuva zvikanzi chidzikisawo worowo kana kuti 1.5 zvakada kunditora kundiremera but pandakati rege ndichitange zvesho ndakareva 1.5 papedza 1 week mbadzoka futi andazonzi atora 1 nhasi saka 1 ine ndakazongoti hafu makuseni hafu manini nobva azouya vazonditi kowadi vatosvikaona ndanda kutorikava ndanga ndaonda because ndandisingakwanise kudya ndandisingatombodya ndandaonda
unowa nenguva yakadii usisati wapinda mumadrugs
izvezvizvi ndakutosvika kana
According to the director of the Zimbabwe Civil Liberties and Drug Network, Mr. Wilson Box, harm reduction involves practical strategies and ideas aimed at reducing the negative consequences associated with drug abuse.
These strategies, policies, programs that are put in place to help people who use and inject drugs. And in most cases, these strategies, they are actually aligned to public health strategies because we are trying to move away from criminalization of people who use and inject drugs and put in place programs, policies, and also practicing best practices to ensure that people who use and inject drugs, they come out to seek for help.
A pilot program conducted by the Zimbabwe Civil Liberties and Drug Network has yielded remarkable results with a 98% success rate in reducing or stopping drug use among participants. Notably, individuals who successfully stopped using drugs are now being utilized as peer educators under the Bestie peer-led program, providing a supportive and relatable voice for others struggling with addiction. The importance of harm reduction is echoed in the Zimbabwe Multi-Sectoral Drug and Substance Abuse Plan 2024 to 2030, which was launched by President Emmerson Mnangagwa in June 2024. The plan provides a comprehensive strategic approach to addressing drug and substance abuse, with harm reduction being one of its key pillars. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
ZANU PF Harare Provincial Coordinating Committee has unanimously recommended the co-option of businessman and philanthropist Comrade Kudakwashe Tagwire into the party's Central Committee.
ZANU PF Harare Province held its coordinating committee meeting this Monday at the party's offices in Harare to deliberate on pertinent issues in the province. The forthcoming by-elections in Glenview South constituency, where the party will be represented by Comrade Tsitsi Taomera, the failed demonstrations and the co-option of members in provincial positions, as well as the Central Committee, were some of the issues discussed.
The proposal by members of the Central Committee in Harare that Comrade Kudakwashe Tagwire be recommended for co-option into the Central Committee of ZANU PF. Comrade Kudakwashe Tagwire is a member of the party in Harare Metropolitan Province.
Secretary for Economic Affairs in the ZANU PF Politburo, Comrade Endemhlanga, highlighted the importance of co-opting successful businessmen into the party and the value they bring.
All members have agreed that he become a member of the PCs of the Central Committee of Harare in Harare Province. So that recommendation has been made without any resistance. We don't encourage violence as a party because it disturbs our economy, it disturbs our people. There is a big loss when people stop working.
Other wings of the party applauded the decision adopted by the Provincial Coordinating Committee.
Comrade Tagwire tivatambire semember Central Committee.
Isisu madzimai tandwa kufara. Tisi vamwe tisina kana pekutangira. Tisi vamwe tisina kana chekubata. Zviri kuitirwa vamwe toda kuzviitirwawo. Tiri kuvagamuchira vatagwirei ava. Hatisi kupokana nazvo. Vatotinonokera zvekuti dai vanga vatori pano.
ZANU PF has taken a stance to champion economic empowerment in line with government's vision 2030 of an upper middle income society. Other positions fell vacant after the suspension and subsequent dismissal of some members for indiscipline. Bruce Chavanda, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the Japan International Cooperation Agency has expanded new Rice for Africa production sites across the country, with the First Lady, who's the Agri4She patron, was introduced to during her visit to Japan in 2022.
The Japan International Cooperation Agency has expanded its new Rice for Africa (NERICA) production sites in Zimbabwe after the success of the NERICA rice production in Marange, Manicaland Province. NERICA rice is currently being produced at 28 sites in the country's different provinces, owing to the First Lady's efforts in a drive to make the country food secure and to produce rice on a large scale to reduce reliance on imports. This was revealed when the Japanese ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Shinichi Yamanaka, and the JICA officials paid courtesy call on the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is also the Agri4She patron, at her offices this Monday. Japanese ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Shinichi Yamanaka, expressed confidence in Zimbabwe's agricultural sector, especially the Agri4She program being spearheaded by the First Lady, saying that JICA intends to work with the First Lady in the sesame seed production under the Agri4She program, exporting the crop to Japan. He also expressed willingness to work with the First Lady in various areas including education, health, women empowerment, and culture. The ambassador also highlighted the significance of cultural exchange programs between the two countries, where he expressed his admiration for the Zimbabwean mbira instrument.
I little bit focus about the cooperation for the production of sesame seed in Zimbabwe, assuming the export to Japan, which is a good potential, especially for the business with Japan, because the sesame is essential food in Japan, including sesame oil. We are cooperating for the education sector, such as elementary school. So maybe we have a lot of the area we can collaborate with. And also it is important to let Japanese people know about the Zimbabwean culture, such as the Shona sculpture and the traditional musical instrument mbira. So Osaka Expo will be a very good chance to expand the cultural exchange as well.
The ambassador also extended his invite to the First Lady for her to participate at the Osaka Expo to be held in Japan this year. Japanese rice expert for Japan International Cooperation Agency, Mr. Shigeki Furuta, shed more light on the expansion of Nerica rice production sites across the country.
In 2022, our First Lady visited in Japan and met with Dr. Tsuboi, who is the one expert devoted himself for decades in developing the rice production in Osaka. And she visited JICA headquarters to request to send expert for the rice cultivation here in Zimbabwe. So we responded to that request. Dr. Tsuboi visited 3 times last year, and also now we have 2 experts working in Zimbabwe for expansion of the rice productions. So this is our 2nd year. We gradually expand the demo sites and also the production of the seeds. And so in a few years, I really hope that the size of the production will grow in a large scale.
The First Lady, Dr. Xile Mnangagwa, who is already promoting women's participation in the agriculture value chain, expressed gratitude to the Japanese delegates for expanding the Nerica rice project in the country. She also welcomed the idea of Zimbabwean women producing sesame seed for export to Japan, indicating that the involvement of women will yield positive outcomes since women are hardworking.
It happened that in 2024 in April, we went to Manicaland, Marange area, where we harvested the first crop with Dr. Tsuboi. That was my first time also seeing that Nerica rice. It did very well. I'm so grateful that this program is continuing. And the areas that you have mentioned, we need them here in Zimbabwe, but with the expertise from Japan. As a mother, I have to say thank you very much to all this. The sesame that you have talked about, I'm the patron of a Greek Foshi. I'm asking if we can have that sesame to be grown with women who are in a Greek Foshi. This will benefit our women here in Zimbabwe. Our women are hard workers. If you give them something to do, they'll bring results.
Dr. Mnangagwa, who is also the country's tourism patron, noted that cultural exchange programs between Japan and Zimbabwe are key in the growth of the tourism sector.
I am the patron of culture and heritage in the primary and secondary education. Well, I'm also thinking if we can collaborate and have a school here in Zimbabwe so that our children get to know the culture of Japan and become an exchange program that we get to know each other. When we are doing all these programs, it also enhances our tourism sector. We get to know what Japan has. And also it's going to be good for us in Zimbabwe to receive Japanese to come to Zimbabwe and see our places of interest, and get to know what Zimbabwe offers in terms of tourism.
Yes.
As the patron also in tourism,
We
are saying we should sell what we have, and our tourists to come and see. We have a lot that people can see. If you visit Nyanga there in Matabeleland, you can end it up in Victoria Falls, or be in Vic Falls, then go to Nyanga. We have so many places that we want to show to our tourists.
In 2022, Dr. Mnangagwa attended the Asia-Pacific Africa Women's Economic Exchange Summit in Japan, which explored ways of securing food self-sufficiency, during which she made a humble request for the establishment of Nerica rice production initiatives for women in Zimbabwe. Heading the call by Amai,
JICA
experts came over for knowledge transfer, capacity building and training of trainers program, which was held with the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Road Development. Nerica rice has been developed through crossing African rice species resistant to disease and drought and high-yield Asian species. Nerica has 3 types, which are Nerica 7 and 3, which are long-season variety, and Nerica 1, which is the aromatic type. Farmers in Marange produced Nerica 7, which was harvested last year. Amai, who is on record advocating for the inclusion of women in agricultural initiatives, participated in the harvest of the first yield. The expansion of the Nerica rice production by
JICA
comes at a time when government is leaving no stone unturned to guarantee national food security, as well as to bolster agriculture's contribution to the economy. Zimbabwe is now self-sufficient in other grains, including maize, wheat, and traditional grains, with rice being an exception. As such, rice is among the top imported commodities in Zimbabwe. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
Or there are more stories on our website. You can go there. It's www.zbcnews.co.zw. We are also on social media. That is on X, on Facebook, Instagram, and also on YouTube. Just look for us, ZBC News Online, for more news.
We still have more news coming up after this break. Before we take the break, here's a look at what you can expect in business. Banks line up more loans for Zimbabwe's productive sectors. And sports, Zimbabwean sprinter Tapiwa Makarau leads the pack at the annual Sports Awards. We'll be back shortly, to stay with us.
Stroke of genius! Introduce the stroke of genius. Oh, Zimbabwe yakuzosumuka manje. Stroke of genius and rukureva chera. President E.D. Mnangagwa vari kupa mabankable, registrable and transferable title deeds na every farmer akapuwa munda pa land reform program. Takanga takapuwa minda asi takanga tisina simba rekupinda mumabhenki semama business kuti tipewo maloni akachipa tatakuwara nezvimbazo man. Zvino ne stroke of genius yekupuwa matitle deeds tikupinduka mubhenki sevamwe totopuwa maloni takutodevelopa mafamu.
Saka kuduza kuti land ese yatone value.
Ende ukapuwa title deed iroro chera. Mundu wako uchatoreki atova nhaka yevazukuru nevazukuru. Ndo zvinoda fama manje izvozvo. Security of tenure.
Iwe pandiri panapa ndakutokwanisa kutopa vana nhaka kuti chidimu chako ichi chemunda chidimu chako ichi.
Exactly.
Zvichifambiswa sei?
President E.D. Mnangagwa igenius manje. Vakabva vati kuti zvinyatofamba negwara rakatwasanuka zviri transparent. Ndobva vagadza inonzi Land Tenure Implementation Committee iri kushanda nemapazi ehurumende.
Alright. But you unozviziva iwo kuti kune maland barons akazara ukanopamba minda dzevanhu.
Dai vatoregera zvavo. Ndiyo kopo usiri kudiwa na President Mnangagwa iroro. Ndio saka Land Tenure Implementation Committee yakati ngatishandisei ma-ID numbers, number dzepachitupa kuti munhu haakwanisi kuva nemafamu maviri. Plus Land Tenure iyi committee haisi kupa minda patsvayo.
Iwe saka zvichida kuti tato protected kasei mavarimi.
Exactly manje.
Aiwa, paiti vakona. Aiwa.
Ukaza kuti ne stroke of genius here. President ndi apa wasikira wana Zimbabwe upfumi.
Ndoya uko chiti stroke
It's that time of the year. Amai's traditional cookout competition is back, featuring talented chefs from communities, tertiary institutions, and professional backgrounds. From the 19th of March to May 25th, 2025, the competition will take place across all the provinces of Zimbabwe. Introduced by Her Excellency Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, the event showcases culinary talent while celebrating our rich cultural heritage and promoting Zimbabwean gastronomy. This year's competitions include men and persons with disabilities within the community, in the spirit of leaving no one and no place behind. Join the 2025 Amai's traditional cookout competition in your province. Entry is free. Hashtag Experience Zimbabwe. Hashtag Zimbo.
The ZANU PF Secretary General, Comrade Dr. Obet Moses Mpofu, on behalf of the Colossal Revolutionary Party's Politburo, Council of Elders, Central Committee, and staff members, extends his warmest and heartfelt birthday wishes on the occasion of your 62nd birthday. On this special day, we celebrate the birth of our esteemed First Lady, whose passionate dedication and selflessness in advancing the causes of marginalized communities through the Angel of Hope Foundation have transformed lives and left an indelible mark on both our nation and the global community. Through your unwavering dedication to advocating for the preservation of culture and heritage, including the values of Hunu, Ubuntu, you have inspired countless Zimbabweans to celebrate their roots and foster pride in our collective identity. Additionally, your efforts in promoting traditional gastronomy have been instrumental in safeguarding Zimbabwe's rich culinary heritage. As the SADC Environment Patron and ZANU PF Party's Secretary for Environment and Tourism, you have demonstrated a deep commitment to the sustainability of our environment, tirelessly promoting efforts that protect and preserve our natural resources for generations to come. Your work as a health ambassador, providing free cancer treatment to communities, further highlights your dedication to a healthier, brighter future for all Zimbabweans. Happy 62nd birthday, Amai, Comrade Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa. May this year bring you continued strength, health, and even greater achievements as you continue to inspire and lead with grace. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amklope. Pamberi ne ZANU PF. Pambili le ZANU PF. Forward with ZANU PF. Nyika inova kwa nebene vayo. Ilizwe lakiwa ngabanikazi balo.
Welcome back. You're still watching the main news. Now, the government says it is set to license 10 more community radio stations in addition to the 14 that are already operational.
The Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services this Monday appeared before Parliament to explain the transformation of the media sector, particularly the operationalization of community radio stations across the country.
Kuti waye committee kuti tinyatsoonzwisisa kuti zvinomboshandika sei panhau yema-community radio stations arikiswa kumaru, kuti pane mangani, panoda kuzoiswa mangani, ndezvipi zvavanotarisira kuti nzvimbo iyi inofanira kuiswa community radio stations. Tichiona kuti ma-community radio stations anobatsira zvakanyanya kupa mashoko kunzvimbo dzakasiyana-siyana dzakafanana neona dzisingasvike national radio sana ziri BC zvakafanana kunana Mbiri, kunana Rushinga, kunana Binge, kunana Chi.
The permanent secretary in the ministry, Mr. Nick Mangwana, indicated they are set to license up to 10 more community radio stations this year in provinces like Midlands and districts such as Mbire.
We have covered almost every language that is out there, which is officially recognized by the nation in the constitution. But we are also now rolling out another 10 this year, community radio stations, where we are going into communities of interest and other marginalized areas where we believe that the community radio station will act as a developmental catalyst. At the moment, we have no community radio station in the Midlands province. So we will put a few in the Midlands. We have no community radio stations in Mashonaland East. So we'll make sure those are catered for. Then we'll go to other marginalized areas, for example, Mbire. We will need a community radio station in Mbire.
The Second Republic has made strides in opening up the airwaves, with the licensing of radio and television stations having ensured improved access to information by Zimbabweans. John Nandara, ZBC News, Mount Abden.
Swugele is on a standby from our Montreux studios with more news. Swugele, good evening and over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Vicky. Good evening, Zimbabwe, and we now carry on with the news from this end. The need to come up with urgent interventions to curb drug and substance abuse in Bulawayo has been highlighted as key in the city, which is currently facing a surge in teenage pregnancies.
Recent statistics reveal a disturbing trend, with the National AIDS Council reporting that approximately 2,000 girls in Bulawayo fell pregnant in the last 18 months. This alarming figure has underscored the vulnerability of the girl child and the pressing need for comprehensive strategies to address the root causes.
For 2023, we had above 2,000 of those teen pregnancies. And these are the data that we are getting from ANC, from the clinics. And we are also we are attributing to a lot of issues, including the vuzus and these other parties that the children are indulging in.
In response to this escalating crisis, the Zimbabwe Liberated Girl Child in Action conducted an awareness campaign in Bulawayo, specifically targeting drug and substance abuse and its detrimental impact on young girls.
We are seeing the young girls burdened by the social pressures and guidance by desperate need. So we are trying as an organization to make sure we are there for these girls.
The government emphasized its commitment to tackle this issue.
As government of Zimbabwe, we continue to encourage community leaders such as the churches to open doors to young people so that they can get assistance before they resort to substance abuse.
Last year, government launched the multi-sectoral drug and substance abuse plan and is also expediting the establishment of a specialized drug and substance abuse agency to coordinate efforts to combat the scourge and strengthen the legal framework. Iland Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
All hands on deck, we will surely fight the scourge of drug and substance abuse. Moving on, the Masunda community in Rishavane has come together to complement government efforts in the upgrading of education infrastructure, with 3 classroom blocks set to be complete at Maungani Primary School next month.
It is every Zimbabwean child's dream to access basic education that lays the foundation for a brighter future. It is against this background that community members from Vesa, Vaka and Masunda areas in Zvishavane have teamed up to construct Mungani Primary School to reduce the distance traveled by their children to access education. The villagers say President Emerson Mnangagwa's mantra, Nyika inovakwa neve nevayo, ilizwe lake wangavanikazi valo, has been a huge inspiration, and they are expecting to complete 3 classrooms next month, hence paving way for first students next term.
Community yedu is not static, it's dynamic. Vanhu vari kuwanda. Saka yedu inofara. Vanhu vari pa next village iri kurudli kwangu uko. Vaenda kuelezi, vachifamba makomomo. Vari kuno vaenda kusasula, but zvingi zvapadhuze.
Pachange pava nemabhizinesi akawanda, kana vane magadheni vachange vachirima zvinhu zvavo, vachitengeserawo vanhu vezvikoro, zvikoro zvichitengawo zvirimwa zvichibikirawo vana vechikoro kuti vane mafeeding program pazvikoro.
Spearheading the initiative, local traditional leader Chief Masunda said he is impressed by the project's progress and is confident that the school will play a pivotal role in reducing distances traveled by learners while enhancing learning standards in the area.
Pandiri panapa ndichienda ku primary school ndaifamba 10 km kuenda
10 k's kudzoka, which means 20 kilometers dzaunokavha per day. Nguva yekustada inenge isipo. Saka tinoda kutenda. Saka matendo tiri kupa kuhurumende wayo. Atinotarisira kuti zviri kutaurika kuti 2030 tinenge tava pachinzvimbo chakasiyana nepatiriko zvinoizvi.
The construction of Mungani Primary School dovetails with the government's Vision 2030 and Inclusive Development Trust. Karejushe, ZBC News, Shishavane.
The government has embarked on a comprehensive job grading system in the health sector as part of efforts to promote fairness and equity in the sector.
Stakeholders from the healthcare sector gathered in Gweru, Midlands province this Monday to launch the 2-week program which aims to upgrade professionals within the sector while addressing their concerns. The initiative follows last year's successful job evaluation exercise and seeks to create a grading structure that reflects the unique needs of different professions.
The health service has been left out in this job evaluation. The responsible authority in the for health service workers. So in that regard, we are now at an advanced stage where we believe that one be able to have these results worked on together with the rest of the civil service as part of the government's progress of a whole of government approach.
The current grading system is not adequate, is no longer responsive in addressing the issues that are in the health sector. Since the last job evaluation, which was done in 2003. So by completing this exercise at this stage, we're hoping to address those concerns and also taking care of the new disciplines that have arisen along the way.
Stakeholders agreed on the importance of job grading in the health sector.
Job evaluation, as I said before, is the key of organizational development. The fact that the government has taken an interest or taken the strategy of undertaking job evaluation in all its department shows the importance that it is placed on this foundational project.
The new job grading system is expected to influence employee motivation and contribute to building a healthy nation. It also aims to achieve better health outcomes in all areas and for all populations. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Gweru.
Well, that'll be all from the Manchester News Desk. I am Sibigela Maposa, now circling back to Pocket Hill, Butler and Vicky. Over to you for the rest of the bulletin from this end. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Spogele. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Now, seed breeders have taken heed of government's policy to promote a climate-smart seed production, with a local company shifting focus to build shorter seasoned made varieties and traditional grains seed banks. The details.
It was all hands on the deck in the local industries. Companies have no time to waste in their quest to ensure productivity in line with government's vision to industrialize the country to become an upper middle income society by 2030. A visit to a local seed producing firm in Harare this Tuesday witnessed workers busy packing wheat seed, part of which will be distributed to farmers under the presidential input scheme.
We are here full time because we've got a duty, a national duty, to deliver seed. Right now we are working on the winter wheat seed, which you can see we are ready. We are almost complete in terms of packaging of winter. We participate in the PIP both in winter for wheat and also for maize and other small grains.
With the traditional grains proving to be a food security winning formula in the face of climate change, the company has intensified efforts to build sustainable climate-smart seed banks.
We want to try and have varieties that meet the demands or the desires of the weather environment. So one of the varieties that we have at the moment is a government variety called Marcia. But while we are using Marcia, we also breeding our own other varieties that are short season varieties, drought tolerant, so that we mitigate against the effects of drought. Then in addition to the small grains, the sorghum that you are seeing here, there are many other products that we do that includes pearl millet, sunflower, and also we have short and medium season maize varieties that we use. We've recently released 2 new maize varieties that are all drought tolerant, climate smart so that we try and mitigate against the effects of drought in the country.
The country is poised for a bumper harvest following the good rains received this season and the local industries burning midnight oil to ensure national development. 10 Time Munengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
Elsewhere, 3 Malawian nationals died while 25 others were injured when a South Africa-bound Malawi bus was involved in an accident near Kingsview, near Karoi, Sunday night. The Permanent Secretary for Mashonaland West Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Mr. Josephat Jaji, said the bus had 119 passengers when it rammed into a stationary haulage truck before rolling into a ditch. The injured passengers were taken to Karoi and Chinhoyi hospitals. Elsewhere, former Citizen Coalition for Change legislators Amos Chibaya, Costa Machingaota and 3 others who were convicted last Friday for participating in an unlawful gathering in 2023 will be sentenced on the 9th of April.
The 5, Chibaya, Machingaota, Monica Mkwada, Aleta Veremai and Lancelot Tungwarara, are set to be sentenced next week following their pre-sentencing hearing held this Monday. During the proceedings, the 5 pleaded for a non-custodial sentence, saying they are remorseful for their actions. They pleaded with the court to take into consideration that they were first offenders, arguing that the gathering was not for criminal purpose. The state, however, argued that the conduct of the 5 breached peace and that their sentence should send a message to would-be offenders who plan unsanctioned gatherings and disrupt peace. The magistrate postponed the sentencing of the 5 to next week on Wednesday. Facts said that on January 14, 2023, a meeting was called for and was convened at Machingauta's residence in Budiriro 5B, Harare. The invitation was reportedly shared on social media by Tungwarara. The 5 convicted individuals were seen wearing CCC branded caps, helmets and t-shirts at the gathering. They allegedly chanted party slogans. Police in Budiriro received a tip-off about the meeting and went to investigate. Upon arrival, they observed that the gathering was disturbing the peace. When officers ordered the group to disperse, the attendees reportedly resisted, leading to their arrest. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News.
Makadi muri Zimbabwe ndo kuchingamizana mfaro zita ndinoitwa Yusuf Banda ndinofara kuzivisa emoso kuti muno Zimbabwe muna April tichange tine muranda wamwaranzi Prophet Kakufilipa nabvanyika Ivory Coast vanenge vachibata basa raMwari munzvimbo dzinoti Harare kubva musi wa 3 kusvika musi wa 9 voti Bulawayo kubva musi wa 11 kusvika 15 voti Gweru kubva musi wa 17 kusvika 18 voti Masvingo kubva musi wa 9 kusvika 20 vachidzopedzisira nekwaMutare kubva musi wa 20 kusvika 22 uyai mose munamatiwe pachena mahara.
In a world where time is currency, every minute counts. Let's be real here. Who has time to waste on grocery shopping? I mean, I'd rather be organizing paperwork all day, or better still, watching paint dry. Anything but grocery shopping. But then I discovered Click and Collect, TM Pick and Pay's online grocery shopping platform. I can order online and collect at my convenience with no parking hassles, no queues. Thank you. And still have plenty of time for the important stuff, like taking a nap. Click and Collect. It's not just an online service, it's real convenience. TM Pick and Pay. Real value, always.
Step up with DSTV and we'll show up by giving you more incredible entertainment.
Going to have a little fun.
Upgrade your subscription between the 13th of January and the 31st of March and get an even higher package for a whole month on us.
To the back of the net!
There's nothing better than putting a little bit in but getting a lot out.
This is the time to take risks.
Incredible!
I've heard good things about you. Don't let me down.
Step up and we'll show up on your home of entertainment, DSTV.
Welcome back in business. More banks are coming on board to extend loans to productive sectors, with Zimbabwe's mining sector emerging as the biggest beneficiary.
An analyst briefing for Zimbabwe's biggest institution in terms of deposits and assets, CBZ Holdings Limited, on Monday confirmed the financial sector's prioritization of loans to productive economic sectors. Bankers Association of Zimbabwe President Mr. Lawrence Nyazema confirmed that the latest developments reflect the financial sector's commitment to government's development agenda.
We need to move away from exporting commodities and raw materials. How do we do that? We do that by supporting the manufacturing sector. About 12-13% of economic activity in the country is manufacturing. About almost 15% of economic activity in the country is agriculture. But the beauty about both agriculture and manufacturing is they employ a large number of people.
Regional and multilateral financiers continue to provide local banks with credit lines for lending to the productive sectors at affordable terms.
We've mobilized lines of credit to the tune of about $120 million, about 80 million coming from Flexim Bank, 20 million coming from TDB. We have about 10 million that was provided by Shelter Afrique. Our intention is to grow those credit lines, push them into productive sectors like mining, agriculture, and other manufacturing entities that are export-oriented. So we intend to raise perhaps an equal number, another $120 million US dollars.
Zimbabwe is shifting focus from a consumptive economy to a productive-based system, as evidenced by increased imports of raw materials and equipment. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
And that day, our look at your business news. Lawrence Trusida is on standby with sport when we come back from a break.
Welcome to a new era in tobacco farm. The Tobacco Industry and Marketing Board, TIMB, has rolled out the biometric grower management system to protect every genuine tobacco grower. With this innovative technology, only you can verify your identity for account adjustments, input collection, stop orders, and insurance. You also get support and payments without delays. Biometrics offer you security, efficiency, and transparency. Why wait? Visit the nearest TIMB office now with your national ID. We will capture your fingerprints and link them to your grower number. You can also register at tobacco selling points as you sell your tobacco. It's fast and it's easy. We guarantee that your biometric data is protected and will only be used to improve the tobacco industry database and processes. Our offices are in Harare, Ntare, Musape, Murandera, Bindura, Karoi, Mvurwi, and Chimhui. Visit the office nearest to you, get your fingerprints captured, and secure a thriving future for the tobacco industry. Register your fingerprints, secure your future, grow with confidence.
Makadi muri Zimbabwe ndo chikamzana mfaro zita ndinoitwa Yusuf Banda ndinofara kuzivisa emoso kuti muno Zimbabwe muna April tichange tichemuranda wamwanzi Prophet Kakufilipa nabvanyika Ivory Coast vanenge vachibata basa ramwari munzvimbo dzinoti Harare kubva musi wa 3 kusvika musi wa 9, voti Bulawayo kubva musi wa 11 kusvika 15, voti Gweru kubva musi wa 17 kusvika 18, voti Masvingo kubva musi wa 9 kusvika 20, vachidzopedzisira nekwa Mutare kubva musi wa 20 kusvika 22. Uyai mose munamatiwe pachena mahara.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on Sports News this evening. My name is Lawrence Trusida. We start off with glitz and glamour, where Zimbabwean sprinter Tapiwa Shimakarau stole the show at the 2024 Annual National Sports Awards answer, where he bagged both the Sportsperson of the Year award and the Sportsman of the Year.
Makarao, a United States-based sprinter, has been making waves in the athletics world with these impressive performances, including taking part at the Paris 2024 Olympics, where he finished 6th in the 200-meter final. The ever-smiling Makarao also won 2 indoor titles on the college circuit in the United States of America, as well as winning a silver medal at Africa Senior Championship in Cameroon last year. Speaking from his base in the United States of America, Makarao feels honored.
I just want to thank God for that. I just want to thank my family, my parents for supporting me throughout the journey until today, and I just want everything that I needed. Also want to thank the Zimbabwe Olympic Committee, the SRC, my association, the NAS, and everyone who was behind.
Rising cricket sensation Carlos Ndlovu was also another double winner on the night. The Zimbabwe Cricket Under-19 women's captain and senior women's team star scooped the Junior Sportswoman and Junior Sportsperson of the Year awards. The national rugby team, the Sables, bagged the Team of the Year award after outstanding achievements in 2024, including winning the Africa Cup and rising to 28th in the world rankings, Zimbabwe's highest position in a decade.
Yeah, it's an exciting year. We obviously know the task at hand of trying to qualify for the World Cup this year. And I think for us, we'll definitely celebrate this award. As I said, we worked really hard for it.
Sables coach Peter Bernard was named as the Coach of the Year, while trailblazing referee Precious Bazani won the Woman in Sport award. Former Zimbabwe Rugby Union President Aaron Jani, who passed on earlier this year, was honored posthumously for his contribution to the sport he had administered for more than 2 decades in various positions. South African-based pugilist Monica Mkandla, who took home the Outstanding Professional Female Boxer Award, was ecstatic about her win.
This award, it just gave me hope that I still have to train hard and continue winning the belts.
The ANSA Awards also celebrated the achievements of athletes with disabilities, as Tawana Nyashamlanda was honored as a Junior Sportswoman of the Year with a Disability, while Wisdom Chapwanya took home the award for Sportsman of the Year with a Disability. The ceremony also recognized the contributions of sports administrators, technical officials, and media personalities. Zimbabwe Cricket was awarded National Sport Association of the Year, while Kero Pakenham took home the Administrator of the Year award. Zimbabwe's top cricket umpire Langton Rusere was recognized as Technical Official of the Year, while Africa Union Sports Council Region 5's Chief Executive Officer Stanley Mtoya got the Special Acknowledgement Award for promoting sports diplomacy. The annual National Sports Awards is a prestigious event that celebrates and recognizes the achievements of Zimbabwe's top sports personalities, teams, and administrators. The awards aim to promote excellence, dedication, and hard work in the sports sector, while also inspiring future generations of athletes and sports enthusiasts. Anna Shemurombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Moving on, Zimbabwe's quartet of Lifat Zuze, Geren Muishi, Aldrin Tafa, and Dennis Hove have provisionally qualified for the World Athletics Relays set for May after making the qualification time at the just ended Lefika International Athletics Tournament in Botswana.
The 4x100-meter team won the senior men's competition in a time of 3 minutes 3 seconds with 39 microseconds at the Lefika International Relays in Francistown, Botswana this Saturday. The time provisionally qualifies the team for the World Athletics Relays in Guangzhou, China, set for May, but the qualification window closes on the 13th of April, and Zimbabwe needs to still be within the top 32 nations to keep their place. Zimbabwe has 2 athletes who have already qualified, recently named Sportsperson of the Year, Tapiwa Nashe Makarau, and his compatriot Makanaka Ishe Charamba will be in the 200-meter competitions. In cricket, Rhinos bagged their first T20 title after a commanding 49-run victory over Eagles in the domestic T20 Championship final at Harare Sports Club this Sunday. This marks their first triumph in this competition, having previously finished as runners-up in 2011 and 2023, both times falling to Eagles in the final. However, this time they turned the tables emphatically on their old rivals. After winning the toss, Rhinos opted to bet and put up a competitive 174 runs for Eagles to chase, but their rivals only managed 125 runs. Moving on to basketball, Basket Hounds hammered Assassins 103-77 in the pick of the matches in the HBA Super 6 matches. Star player Innocent Joma was at his usual best, leading the charge with 26 points, ably assisted by Clayton Chikwengo, who recorded a double-double, 14 points and 16 rebounds. In another exciting match, Mbare Bulls dismissed Acadia Bucks. Veteran Agrippa Mashishi led the scoring with 19 points, supported by Tatenda Zimwan Maturure and Warren Tagama, who had 13 points apiece, while Kudakwashe Porte chipped in with 10 points. Arcadia Bucks' Roland Changara put up a valiant effort, scoring 21 points, but it was not enough to stop the Bulls' onslaught.
In football news, debutants Scotland and Moors are holding their fort in the Casolaga Premier Soccer League after finding themselves within the top 4 bracket after 4 rounds of matches.
The evolution of Scotland and Moors has remained a topical subject in football circles, with the two sides taking the Premier Soccer League by storm. It might be still early days, but the two sides really mean business, and on Sunday, Scotland held Highlanders to a 1-0 draw at Babafield Stadium a day after Moors had forced a scoreless draw at FC Platinum. The result saw Moors holding on to second position with 8 points, 2 behind leaders against the Platinum Stars, while Scotland are fourth with 7 points. It has also not been just about results, with the Mavoko-based Scotland offering a new dimension to the beautiful game. Mavira continue to attract big crowds, and Sunday's away blockbuster to Bulawayo Giants Highlanders was no exception as Babafield Stadium was packed to the brim. The usual sea of black and white was there, so was the blue of Scotland.
Mutambo nezuro wangokanaka chaizvo. Wangokanakira pakuti yanga iri a big club. Highlanders is a big club, and also the Scotland is a new club ichangouya. And if you see the crowd was well yakawanda.
Kuuya kweScotland mu Premier League kwachinja zvinhu zvakawanda, not just kumtambo wenhabvu chete. Initially kwachinja the entire people, socially, vanhu vakumabasa, they were being employed, families vakuwana zvinhu, supporters are getting vehicles, other people are benefiting from Scotland.
The problems Kompana kusikole yani ugcina lana ibhora ngoba kade kuselenga second. So kuselenga second nathi asikwazi ukuthi ngabe uhambe njani ngoba ibhora lathi mina ndiyadala liphelile kodwa kulanto eyenzakeleyo.
Hayi khona hayi umdlalo obudlalwa sibili asihlalile kuhle but khona ukuthi abafana nabo bebechaya fast.
Scotland savaged a point to cancel what looked like 3 points in the bag for Boso, and Club Secretary General Fortune Bone says they mean business in their debut season.
We came to change the football fraternity. We came to bring back people to football. As you can see, wherever we play, the numbers are rising up. The figures are good. PSO is happy.
So I was very happy yesterday because the atmosphere at BF was electric. One of the most exciting games that we've ever watched at Babafield Stadium.
While the new boys are enjoying life in the top flight, returnees Triangle are having a torrid time. Masomeri side anchored the log. The Sugar Boys have received a baptism of fire, becoming a punching bag for all, losing all their 4 outings so far. Bikita Minerals, Chickening and debutants Kwekwe United occupy the other bottom 4 positions. Matchday 4 had 14 goals scored on Saturday. Greenfield had a 4-2 goal harvest over Bikita Minerals. Third place till 1 goal the better of Harai Giants Cape United courtesy of a 1-0 scoreline. Herentals and Manica Diamonds shared the spoils in a 1-all draw, while ZPC Kariba beat Chickening 1-0. On Sunday, Harai Giants Dynamos scored their first win of the season, edging defending champions Zimbabwe 1-0. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News.
That's all we managed to have for you in sports news this evening. It's now time for the weather update.
Good evening, viewers. We thank you for joining us in today's edition of the Weather Report and Forecast. My name is Baba Maketa. We had cloudy conditions in the morning over the northern parts of the country, while in the south were mostly clear and temperatures were low throughout the country. However, in the afternoon, temperatures rose to the warm category and it was mostly sunny throughout the country, and it became cool in the evening countrywide. Now, taking a look at the sky situation throughout the country, we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions, especially over the western and northeastern parts of the country. We're also expecting some slight showers, especially over the eastern highlands as well as the western parts of the country due to some cloud system that is affecting the country, but nothing much is expected in terms of precipitation. In terms of our temperatures, we're expecting lower temperatures over the central watershed, that is 14 degrees Celsius over Harare and Gweru, and slightly warmer conditions are expected over the northern and southern valleys, with Kariba being expected to record the highest minimum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. In terms of our maximums, we're expecting some slight rise in terms of temperatures throughout the country, with Kariba being expected to record a maximum of 30, and Victoria Falls 32, Chirezi a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. Now let us take a look at the detailed forecast for our major holiday resort areas and cities. In Bulawayo, we are expecting partly cloudy conditions throughout the forecast week. We are also expecting temperatures to be between 29 and 32 degrees Celsius in the coming week. In Matobo, partly cloudy conditions with temperatures between 30 and 31. Gwanda, the same situation, temperatures between 25 and 32 degrees Celsius. In Mashingo, again, mostly sunny conditions are expected and temperatures are expected to rise to 31 degrees Celsius. In Gweru, the same situation, partly cloudy conditions and temperatures going to as high as 31 degrees Celsius. Kwekwe, again, a higher temperature of 32 degrees Celsius under mostly sunny conditions. Kadoma, the sun is expected throughout the week and temperatures to go to as high as 32 degrees Celsius. Harare, again, nothing much in terms of precipitation and temperatures playing between 26 and 28 degrees Celsius. Chinoi, temperatures playing between 28 and 30 degrees Celsius under mostly sunny conditions. Lupane, again, the sun is expected to be shining throughout the whole week and temperatures should be between 30 and 32 degrees Celsius. Victoria Falls, partly cloudy conditions are expected and temperatures should be in the high category there. Kariba, again, higher temperatures are expected, that is between 31 and 32 degrees Celsius. In Bindura, we're expecting again partly cloudy conditions and temperatures between 25 and 28 degrees Celsius. Maronda, the sun is expected there and temperatures between 25 and 28 degrees Celsius. Nyanga will be a little bit cooler. In Zimbabwe, that is all that we had from the weather desk. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Or the weather report and forecast.